disgusting.
838 Big 550 KTRS. Twisted Tree Steakhouse sponsors Cat Neville from Feast Magazine. That's the newest offering from Cyberg's family at Watson and Lindbergh, Sunset Hills. They're now serving lunch. Check out their Sip and Savor Happy Hour 3 to 6. Our friend Jimmy Christo is running the place over there, 314-394-3366 or twistedtreesteakhouse.com. Good morning, Cat Neville.
Good morning.
Let's get to the two restaurants, and then we want to hear about Ina Gardner.
Yeah,
Ina
Garden.
Ina's Garden. We were in about Ina's
goodness.
Garden.
Seriously.
Okay, so I have a brewery as our number one pick. It is Second Shift Brewing Company. They make fantastic beers. They've been brewing beer for, I think, around 6 years, and they were located in New Haven, Missouri, and they recently moved the brewery here to the Hill. And it's at 1601 Sublet Avenue in a very industrial, like warehouse space, essentially. It's massive. It's like 18,000 square feet, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, it's humongous. And so it's a brewery and then also a tasting room, of course. And it's just a really big open space, not a lot of frills. And like one wall just has a big... It's just all barrels that they use to age their beers. And so you walk in and there's like just tables and sofas and games and things to read, and you can just hang out. It's very, very casual, which is wonderful. And the bar is at the very back, and the staff is incredibly friendly and knowledgeable and will take you through all their beers. One that I enjoyed when I was there is called the Katie, as in Katie Trail. And it's aged for 3 months in neutral oak barrels. It's very light and a little bit sour, but not much. It's really, really good. They also are known for their hibiscus wit, which is really good. And then they also have you should just go and taste their beers. But they do a lot of barrel aged beers, a lot of sour beers, and so they're really interesting and unique. And then the Tilfords, Jason and Adam, they have opened up. You can get just like a really small menu of Mexican kind of, bar snack kind of thing. So it's called the Hole in the Wall. And so they do barbecue duck quesadillas and beef brisket nachos and peel and eat smoked shrimp. And you have like companion pretzels with cheese. And I just love it. I mean, we were there, had a couple beers and chit-chatted with, the folks behind the bar.
I love all these breweries open up. It's so much.
I do too.
Great.
I think we have around 60 now in the St. Louis area.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
60?
Yeah. In fact, next month, we're sponsoring the Centennial Beer Festival, which is going to be held at Mulan. And we're in the next issue, we're actually doing an insert and kind of an update on the beer industry. And yeah, like 60 breweries. It's amazing.
This Second Shift Brewing on Sublet on the Hill.
Yes.
Did you do a segment on this on Feast Magazine when they were in that?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was on Feast TV, and that was not this last season, but the season before. And they were talking about moving, but it wasn't in the works yet. So now they're here.
It was a brewery in rural Missouri going gangbusters.
Oh, yeah. And they've been selling their beer in the St. Louis area. You've been able to get it, but they haven't been physically here. So now you can go and you can meet Steve and Libby, and you can meet their kitty cat, and I just love them. They're fantastic. Yeah,
Second Shift Brewing on Sublet. What's number two?
Number two is a Global Quesadilla Company. It is opened. I just heard an
Oh, yeah. Did I say it out
loud? You're drooling on the microphone, Kelly.
It's in Creve Coeur, and the address... Excuse me, let me flip to the address. 12366 Olive Boulevard. Again, fast casual. We're seeing tons of these fast casual concepts. And they just have a really fun, just kind of witty way of putting things together. They have a food truck where it says nachos make you like more attractive or something like that. It's really funny. And so they do, and it truly is global quesadillas. So it's kind of like chips and tortillas are kind of like the vehicle essentially for all of these really fun flavors. So they have one that is the Texas quesadilla, which is sweet barbecue sauce with red onions, grilled chicken, bacon, cheddar, Monterey Jack. They have the Mexico City, which is the original. Florentine. It's so funny. They say our old world recipe. They say, okay, so it's from 2004. Spinach artichoke dip with like tomatoes and mozzarella. You can add in some chicken. They have the St. Louis, and they say it's like pizza but better. And Parmesan tomato sauce, and it's a flour tortilla with pepperoni, sausage, Provel, of course, and mozzarella. They have a bunch of salads, and you can do, for example, the New Orleans with grilled chicken, fresh pico de gallo, bacon, tons of blue cheese and blue cheese dressing. And then you can also do the chos, which are the nachos. Get it? Yep.
Yes.
And they have the buffalo chos, which are like grilled chicken, bacon, tomatoes, diced onions, wing sauce, shredded lettuce, queso. I mean, so what they do, they also have a Thai peanut version, which is like grilled chicken and the Thai peanut sauce. So they do very approachable, obviously, really just tasty and inexpensive and fun food. And it's just good stuff. And I love it. They have like the Memphis quesadilla, which is pulled pork, bacon. There's lots of bacon on this menu if you haven't noticed that.
they like bacon.
And you love bacon.
I love everything.
You do. Global Quesadilla Company
Yep.
On Olive Boulevard in Creve Coeur.
Yeah, it seats 80, and it really is just kind of a very simple interior, great food.
And then Second Shift Brewing on Sublet on the Hill. Now, last week you weren't here because you were hobnobbing with one of the food star networks.
I actually wasn't here because I was shooting for the show, but in the evening,
I was trying to make you sound bigger than you were.
It was a busy day.
Yes.
I started the day at 8 a.m. at AB Mowry, which is a baking company. But anyway, I digress. Ina Garten.
Yes. Food Network star.
She's amazing.
You hosted a thing at the Peabody.
Yes. So her publicist essentially called me up and asked me, Stephen Barclay asked me to host her appearance, which was last Wednesday.
Which is a big thing.
It was huge. I know.
Sought you out.
I was so honored and humbled by it. And he reached out. He said, I've been asking people who in St. Louis should be interviewing Ina Garten, and they said it should be you. So I'm calling you from Paris because I'm spending Christmas with Ina in Paris. And I was like, okay. And
they should have flown you to Paris to MC.
I agree.
Because she does love Paris. I've seen a couple of her specials in
that's
Paris.
that's her true north.
I'm a huge fan of hers.
Oh yeah, she's amazing. Yeah. And I mean, so I get to the Peabody and I go down into, they show me into my little green room.
Yes.
And so I was there for a little bit before she arrived. And the second they brought me in to meet her, the first thing that she did was hug me. And then we just kind of chit-chatted and got to know each other, went up for the sound check and sat and, tried on our ear microphones. I felt like Madonna. And she was just genuinely warm and open and lovely. She's exactly as she seems on television. And that's why people love her, because there's no pretense.
Are we going to see this on Feast or on NBC or CBS?
They didn't film it.
No film. So it was just a book signing. She came in, you MC'd it. It was a one-night stand.
It was an hour-long interview.
Right.
And so I did a lot of cooking to kind of prepare so that I kind of like, I became one with her.
Right.
So I made a lot of her dishes, which are true blue recipes. If you cook anything out of her books, they've been tested and retested, and they are foolproof. They really are, and easy. And so I interviewed her for an hour, and then we did a 30-minute Q&A with the audience, and it was so much fun. And I
think you're going to be doing more of those.
Those are fun when you can get the person out of the element and asking questions and good questions.
Well, and when we walked off stage, she grabbed my face and she kissed me, and she was like, "That was so much fun."
There you go. That's Kat Neville. She's the best. Feastmagazine.com. Feastmagazine.com for all of the information here today. Feastmagazine.com. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
847, Big 550, KTR.